So today I'm going to be making my OC pony. Her name's Sunflower, and I made her a long time ago around the second season of MLP when it first came out. I made her yellow to symbolize my desire to be more happy and bright, and her cutie mark came around the time I started crocheting, and the first one I ever made was Celestia. And I really loved jellyfish because my favorite anime was Princess Jellyfish. So her cutie mark is a little amigurumi jellyfish that also incorporates my love of sunflowers, because my favorite book ever is Love, Stargirl, and there's a big symbolism around sunflowers in the book. So that's where her name comes from also. I've never talked in a video before, but I figure since this is my OC and she is me, that I would start doing voiceovers when I show you how to make certain things. So I will edit this part out. The other thing about Sunflower is, I think part of it was me being obstinate because of people talking about how stupid it was to have an alicorn OC. So Sunflower is actually an earth pony who chooses to disguise herself as an alicorn, and in the story I wrote about her, she does this because she hates herself so much for just being a normal earth pony. She wishes she could fly, she wishes she had magic, and she can't because she was born an earth pony. So she makes these fake wings and a fake horn, and in doing so, she discovers her love of creating things, and because just wearing this fake horn and this fake wing make her so happy, she realizes that she can make others happy by making things for them. And, wow, that got really deep. So we're going to make her today. The first thing I started off with is the head, which is just a little cap that I do for the nose. And if your OC has a different colored muzzle, this can be really helpful. You don't have to do this. You could just as easily start out doing the muzzle and then just continue around the entire head and make it one piece. But I find that by doing it as two pieces, where you're putting the little muzzle cap onto the head, it gives it a little bit more of a distinct separation. And I think it looks good. A lot of times when you put it on, though, with certain ponies, like I have a Rarity, you can't even tell there's separation between it, so it all just depends on how you sew it on, and if you want to make your muzzle longer, shorter. It really depends on you, and I think it looked good for this, just because it makes it so much easier to separate the muzzle, since Sunflower's nose is bright yellow, whereas her body is like a softer yellow. Okay, what am I doing here? Should be working on the body. The body is just a regular oval shape. I've never released a pattern before, but if you're interested in learning about how to make a pattern, or if you want to buy a pattern for me, I guess I could just put it up on my store for a couple bucks, so just let me know. Wow, this is actually a lot more fun than doing subtitles all over the place. Jesus. So, I used to just do a completely circular body that looked like just a big oval, but now I do this thing where I taper the waist and then I increase it again to get it to come out to either the butt shape or the chest. It depends, just whatever looks right to you. And then I thought, to make a little bit more definition to the hind legs at this part, that I would do a butt, so that way when you put the back legs on, there's more of the anatomy looks better, where you have like the back haunch versus the body, so that it's not just a leg stuck onto a big circle, that the little butt gives it a bit more definition, and it also makes like the tail placement look a little better. So then, crap, I have not watched this in a while. I made this a while ago. Let's see, I should be working on the neck at this part. And the neck, all you really do is you chain a circle, and then depending on if you want the neck one uniform shape, or if you want it to be smaller towards the head and bigger towards the body, like for a pony or a horse, I literally do not really follow a pattern for the neck. I just kind of wing it, and when it looks right, I increase, and when it looks right, I decrease. So I'm sorry if people don't do it that way, but I just started doing that because I found working on certain patterns I really liked when they're complicated, but if it's something simple like this, I just do it really easily. If you would ever like a video about how to do a pony from scratch and have all the steps laid out, I would be happy to make that for you. I love doing this so much, even though amigurumi can be long and tedious. When you do it as much as I do, you begin to just enjoy it, and you don't really care so much about counting every single stitch or counting every single row. So right here what I'm doing is I made little hoofs, like little caps, just like the muzzle, only smaller. And then I attached the lighter skin color to the top of the bright yellow hooves, and man, I need better lighting. Oh well. It's a little hard to see the difference, but it does get better. So right now I'm just making the legs, and every time I do them, I always hold them up to the body to see if they're the right size. And I always wait until I've got all 4 done to attach them. And the reason you do this is because you have, some people use like beads to weight the legs down, and I don't, so I need them to be splayed wide enough to hold the body balanced. And if you do this, so, oh crap, I'm moving so fast. If you do this where you don't put the legs on until the very last step, you run the chance of making your pony or your doll overbalanced, and then they'll fall one direction or the other, or one hoof won't completely touch the floor. So that's why you wait. And here I just made some yarn wefts. There's a lot of other videos that show you how to make yarn wefts probably better than I do, so I would follow those. And I take the yarn wefts and brush them out and attach them to the head with a felting needle. And a felting needle has little barbs on it, so you can't do this with a sewing needle. You actually have to go to the craft store and get a felting needle, which is something I did not understand right at first. And back in the day, when I made ponies, I would just glue on felt to the face, but it makes it look very chunky, so I started doing this thing where I draw on the features with felting wool. I just kind of roll it out until it's like a strip, and then I pretend that I'm like just painting it or drawing it directly on the face. And I found that to work really well. I started doing that with Rari, and I knew I had to do it for Sunflower because she has these very distinct, like, she looks more angry most of the time, but she's supposed to be like very serious. Like, she can be like evil smiling in a lot of my photos, but she always has those very serious eyes. And since I wanted to use my OC pony in order to speak from here on out, I wanted to leave her with no mouth, so that way I can just put mouths on her in order to have her speak to the audience, because I thought that would be a really cool idea. And oh my gosh, this little amigurumi jellyfish. Part of this inspiration came from a magic card, and I'll show you after this what magic card it was. But oh my god, it's so cute. I felt like the bright yellow blended in too bad with the skin, so I took a gold and I put gold over top of the petals. And then here is actually my favorite part, getting to choose the wings I wanted, and I just cut them out from felt and attached them to her. And if you ever want like an in-depth video on how to do that, I will show you, but it's just really easy, just cutting out bits of felt in the right shape. And yeah, pause for now because I need to edit this. Ba-da-ba-da. Everybody, I live! Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to watch this tutorial. I love making ponies, I love making toys and dolls. if there's anything you would like to see me make for you, I would be more than happy to. It is my favorite part of doing this. Thanks for spending time with me. Hopefully we can do something fun together again soon. See ya!